We're now going to look at how we can assign a part number or equipment code to a 3D model that we've created and link it to a schematic. So we can do this either from the 3D environment or the schematic. So I've created a symbol here for a power supply, which I've dragged onto this folder here just by dragging and dropping like this, and I've given it a name, DC power supply. So we've now got a schematic symbol and perhaps a 3D symbol. We can go into functions and database. From the schematic, we'll click on add to add a new part number if it's not already in the database, and we can put this as being my power supply. Description could be DIN rail 24 volt DC. Maybe it's a 40 amp 960 watt PSU. And we could put the manufacturer, just for the moment I'll put it as being IGE. Power supplies as being the group. So the first 4 groups need to be filled in really. We can put the size in, but be aware that this will stretch the 3D model to match whatever height, width and depth we put in there. So I prefer to leave this empty and assume that the model has been created correctly by the manufacturer. The color, weight, voltage and the other properties are up to you as to whether you fill those in, whether you need them on the bill of materials. The important field for C electrical is the define channels. We can click, select on the value on the right, and we get to see what the actual symbols are that we can use with this part number. So we don't have to assign the schematic symbol, but if we do, it means we can actually select from the components panel instead. So if I go into my symbols and I select this symbol, notice it's showing me a preview of the symbol. It's warning me the connection points don't match, so if I do select the symbol, I do need to put those connection points in. So if I put the first one as being neutral, I'm just going to use the down arrow to go to the next one, live, protective earth. We've then got 2 positives and some negatives in there. So if I assign the first one as being neutral, I can see on the preview. Let me just bring this up a little bit. We have the option here on Service Pack 4 and 5 of V8R2. We have the option there to show the preview. If I click on the next one, I can see that that's L, and I'm just going to go down and say those are the ones that I want assigning to this symbol. Perfect. The next thing, we can go to what it should be in the 3D panel. So again, we click on symbols on the right hand edge and we find the actual symbol selector. Now the folders or the symbol databases we see here are the 3D ones, not the schematic ones. So what we're looking for in here is a 3D symbol. We can on the preview use our wheel to actually rotate that, zoom in and just check that that information is correct. And I can see the text on there, LNPE. It's critical that that connection point on the 3D symbol matches the connection point text on the schematic. If that's not correct, then the wiring and the routing will not work. So that information, the connection points, must match between those 2 areas. Number of connection points, it's telling me that the connection points don't match. Now I don't actually have to put the text in there. I may have assigned them on the symbol in a different order. So I can leave that empty and just leave the text that I've put on the actual 3D symbol. So I can now click OK and have a part number with some basic details. Click on OK and then click on close. So now in the drawing on this symbol here, I can actually assign the part number either by double clicking and choosing type or by going through the components. So if I just click on IGE+XAO, I can see my power supply. Let me just do that again. I click on the actual manufacturer there, double click, and the part number that I selected should appear in the selected column. So that's it, essential. We click OK, and that part number is now assigned. If I then go into the 3D panel, and I'm just going to resize this so it fits in. And I'm going to take off any existing objects I've got on there, and the important thing to do here is go to the components panel and right click and load from the function, location or product. So in this case I'm going to load from the function and just choose, I haven't filled in the function location levels, so I'm just going to choose the top empty one, click OK, and I should now have a full list of all the new parts. And what I'm looking for here is PS1 with my power supply. If I click on that, I should find I've got the symbol appear on my cursor, and I can place it in. It snaps to the DIN rail, and it's then valid and can be navigated to the schematic again. You can put the equipment information in from the 3D area. To do this, we need to enable the commands window. So we go into Windows, Enable Commands, and under Equipments, we can see access to the equipment editor. This is the same database that we see from the 2D schematics. We can now see the same information, and we can add or edit the information that's in the database. By double clicking on a part number, we can edit it, and we can also select a part and choose copy to copy it and just change the main part number information and maybe some of the details. So access to the equipment database is fairly straightforward. We can also import from spreadsheets or XML files. So if we've got a spreadsheet of parts information, we can bring this in and then link that to this suitable 3D symbols. The last thing to do now is to close this and go into the net information, and be aware that when we went into the components and right clicked and loaded, we're not just loading the symbol information, but also reloading the wiring information. So we should now be able to right click over the net section and choose reroute all nets. It warns us that all components must be visible to be routed, so we say yes. And then we can see that the wires are actually routed and connected based on what we've got in the schematic. So assuming they match the connection points with the circuit diagram, everything works.